Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be covering the level 72 Zane build that I've been using to play with since the recent patch. Now, in this video, we're basically going to cover a couple things. The very first thing after the intro is going to be the build itself. I'm going to show you guys a skill tree and a way you can spend your skill points and the different kind of options you have, because really, there's not a specific place you want to just spend your skill points all the time. It kind of depends on your build, but there are definitely, there's some skills you definitely want to pick up. And then after that, if you guys want to stick around, I'm going to show you guys all the different awesome loot combinations I've been using and also show off some of the cartel gear. Like you noticed from the video in the background, I'm using the grease trap with the digiclone. It's one of the most awesome combos, and once you get your enemies to flesh, you can use it to pretty much shred through them really quickly. And with that being said, let's get into it. Alrighty, so first things first, let's go ahead and build the digiclone build how I would, or the double agent build. So obviously we're going to be using the digiclone. We're going to max out all the the more usable skills from the skill tree. One thing I want to talk about real quick is you're going to notice I ignore fractal frags. There is definitely a reason you want to take this skill, but the reason I don't use it is because with the See Undead class mod, the clone will spam grenades sometimes instead of actually shooting his weapons. But there is definitely times you want to use it. Like I might potentially in the future post a clone grenade build, because there is one that does exist, making your clone spam grenades on purpose. Next, we're gonna go into the purple tree, and then I'm going to make the blue tree real quick. Now, the build I'm gonna make right now is actually going to be a build without the 7 extra skill points, because I wanna show you where you can spend those skill points, essentially. Okay, so now we have 7 extra skill points. The first thing we're gonna spend 5 points on, or actually 4 points on. Technically, commitment is supposed to be 4 out of 5. You want Headman's Hand to be 5 out of 5. Now, you only want to spend this many points in this skill tree, or well, you can actually spend 1 extra point here, that's up to you. But the main bonus we're getting on our double agent build now is the augment for the Mantis Cannon, No Way Out. If you read, this augment gives you a 25% debuff bonus to enemies, which is absolutely insane. Now, I'm gonna spend one of our last 3 points here. And then you kind of have 2 extra points. You could take 1 out of commitment if you wanted to, because you need 1 less point to get to No Way Out. But we're gonna spend these 2 points into the blue tree kill skills. I'm gonna put 1 into Cool Hand and 1 into Violent Violence. You can switch these around as you like, depending on what weapons you use. I use a variety of weapons, so I like to have them kind of evenly distributed. I like using fast firing weapons, and I also like using rocket launchers. And you need playing dirty for rocket launchers, you need Violent Violence for fast firing weapons. But this is pretty much the skill tree I recommend for the double agent build. Unfortunately, we don't have enough points to get Eraser, but I'm going to be posting a different Zane build. The Swiss Army Knife Zane build might be coming back, for those of you who remember that build. That will feature Eraser and will be a different skill tree. But for this build, we're using the digiclone, and the main thing is to get this No Way Out augment. This is a 25% debuff of damage bonus. It's kind of like the piss grenade, and this is a very insane damage bonus for Zane. So with that being said, that is the skill tree I use for level 72 for our double agent build. This is what I'm using to farm up a bunch of gear. Keep in mind, my gear is not perfect yet, although, some of the stuff I have equipped right now looks perfect. But I don't have fully leveled out like backburners or plague bearers of every element. I have a corrosive and a fire backburner I farmed up, and then I re-rolled with the machine. And then I actually found this one with the splash damage anointment, which is really cool. But I want to show you guys some footage of some of the cartel weapons. So let's go ahead and take our No Pew Pew. You'll notice that my No Pew Pew has the barrier crit damage and accuracy anointment. Actually, you know what? Let me just go over all the gear real quick, then we'll show off some gameplay. So, any strong weapon is cool or whatever. The anointments you're looking for are either, probably not the barrier anointment, unless you're doing some quick bossing, because we are using the clone and the cannon. So you're pretty much still just looking for the splash damage anointment, or the next 2 magazine anointment. Like, for example, my reflex here has next 2 mags radiation. Otherwise, yeah, splash and next 2 mags are going to be your best anointments. My OPQ system has next 2 magazines. Otherwise, though, for certain weapons, you can use the Digiclone ammo regen anointment. Now, what's really cool about this anointment is since we're using the Digiclone, we can take advantage of this. Now, this is 30% ammo regen, which they recently buffed. And let me show you how fast this ammo regen is. So here is a flipper. And you notice the ammo never disappears ever. So you can shoot a flipper infinitely as long as your Digiclone is active. And the reason this is good is because the flipper starts at 1 pellet and then it charges up to, I believe, 9 pellets or so. And basically it'll do more damage because there's more pellets and you can shoot this forever. Now, keep in mind, this is not the best ever anointment for damage. Let me go ahead and shoot Grave Ward here. You can see that we definitely have better setups for damage. However, I do want to say, when it comes to mobbing, this anointment will allow you to not only survive better, since you'll be constantly shooting your weapon, you'll always be getting that lifesteal, you'll never run out of ammo for mobbing, and then another thing is that, what was I gonna say? You're gonna be doing enough damage anyway. Like, you don't need the perfect setup for mobbing, you want damage setups for bossing. And obviously you can tell against Grave Ward where we want a pure damage setup for bossing. It's not the best ever anointment ever, but it's very cool. It's very viable on different weapons. I recommend it on a gun like the Light Show, the Monarch, stuff like that. Really fast firing weapons that aren't normally sustainable. Now, another weapon I recommend this on are COV weapons. Now, I only have a level 65 Tizzy, so I can't really show you the power of this thing against level 72 Grave Ward. But let me go ahead and show you the power of Digiclone ammo regen. So this keeps a gun like the Tizzy up with ammo forever. Look at that fast ammo regen. Now, the reason why this can be very useful is if you get yourself a gun called the Hangan Chad that has a 999 magazine size. So Digiclone ammo regen will actually regenerate 300 bullets every second. Or any other COV weapon like assault rifles, anything you can get this anointment on, you can basically recover ammo to your backpack. COV weapons, actually, when you have ammo regen, it puts it to your backpack, and then you can spam TDORs forever. Although there's only, pistol, assault rifle, and rocket launcher COVs. You can't get this anointment on a rocket launcher. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and just move on. I do want to show you guys the power of the no pew pew against Grave Ward, but I want to tell you guys the different shields you can use and some of the different stuff. Now, I'm gonna put on the Hemovorous kill. I want you guys to know that I was using the Super Soldier during that clip, and that was actually for a specific reason. If you watch during this kill, sometimes this kill is kind of hard to pull off because the Digiclone will actually damage himself with his own explosions. So summoning him with a Super Soldier gives him at least 5 seconds to be able to set off those powerful grease trap explosions. There's really no other reason I was using the Super Soldier for. It's not really for the other effects. It's mainly to let my Digiclone, or myself for that matter, survive forever, because when you use it, when you first summon his Digiclone, his shield will be considered full, and he'll get that protective barrier for 5 seconds. Otherwise, we have the Revolter, which is, one of the most powerful shields in the game. Gives you 200% shock damage. Otherwise, I recommend a shield called the 0.M. This is an amp shield. Let me go ahead, comboing this with the Toboggan and a Plague Bearer. Let me go ahead and show you what kind of damage a radiation Plague Bearer can do to Tyreen. Now, this is not a fire Plague Bearer, and the reason why we're doing so much damage is because we're using the amp shield, the 0.M, alongside the Toboggan, which is another amp artifact. This boosts our amp damage to just insane levels. This is me shooting a backburner at Grave Ward, and, absolutely just obliterates him. Basically, I'm using, like I said, the 0.M alongside the Toboggan. Both of these amp bonuses stack together in insane ways. And yeah, So some of the main bonus you're going to be looking for on artifacts for this build is area of effect. Any other bonus is going to be a huge cherry on top. This assault rifle bonus is an insane bonus to my no pew pew. If you could find SMG damage, shotgun damage, it depends what weapon you're using, obviously. It's going to be a huge bonus. But the reason why area of effect damage is so special is because splash damage boosts the damage to our digiclone. And our, but obviously only when we give our digiclone splash weapons or to his grenades. And that's why I said there could be a digiclone grenade build. But in this build, we prefer the digiclone shooting his guns, so that's why I didn't take fractal frags. And same goes for the class mod. Now, this looks like a unicorn class mod. It's an old one I got from some save file somewhere because it had perfect stats, okay? Blah, blah, blah. But the 5 out of 5 Donnybrook on this class mod does not matter. What you're looking for is the combination of splash damage and action skill damage. Action skill damage is the best bonus for boosting your digiclone, and then splash damage also boosts your digiclone while boosting Zane's own splash weapons. Now, for the grenades, it doesn't really matter what grenade you're using specifically. I mainly just use these for the anointment, but we do have duct tape mod, so we do throw a grenade occasionally. You can probably just use a grenade like the piss grenade or a fish slap because that'll trigger groundbreaker, and it's just pretty powerful otherwise. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the gear. Now, let's just show off some of these cartel weapons real quick. I got myself a no pew pew with the barrier anointment. So let me go ahead and equip the barrier real quick. And let me just show you the power of this thing versus Grave Ward because it's pretty freaking nuts. I've been enjoying the cartel event mainly, and I've been farming up for this save file. We almost one clip him. If only we didn't have, you know, the gun didn't overheat. And look at what this fire rate, or wait, I wasn't aiming at his crit. Yeah, so that's the power of the no pew pew. Let's get a quick save quit so we can shoot him with a different gun. But yeah, since the patch, I've been enjoying the cartel event. I've also just been farming up for this build so I can show it off for YouTube. I'm probably going to be doing another Zane build, by the way, which will be the Swiss Army Knife Zane build. I want to be able to get Eraser, and then I'm going to try to find a really good use for every single one of Zane's action skills within the build. All right, what gun should we shoot next? Maybe the Flipper? Let's do a Digiclone ammo regen Flipper kill. Because I actually really also like this new ammo regen anointment. Like I said, even though it's not like, you know, the most optimal damage ever, like, you know, it's not the splash anointment, but it is still pretty cool that we get to play with this and be able to use it. I actually wish I had a level 72 Tizzy. You know what? I actually want to try out my level 65 Tizzy. This also has Digiclone ammo regen. Basically meaning we're gonna get to shoot it forever. There's a level 65 Tizzy. I think this anointment's gonna be really useful for mobbing. The thing is, when combined with the Flipper, you're essentially just gonna be able to shoot forever. Keep up those 9 pellets forever so you can do some really good damage, even though there's no damage anointment on it. And then you're gonna be able to keep up your lifesteal forever. So somewhere like the Malawan takedown, or the Guardian takedown, which can dish out a lot of pain. Let me see if I have the Revolter on. Oh, I didn't have my Revolter on. All right, so that was some bad damage. Listen, I'm one take in this YouTube video, so we're just gonna kill him again. Just for fun. I should stay to see what drops he gets, because I actually need some new artifacts and grenades as well. All my stuff is still level 65. Dude, all these separate level cap increases, like, I still have some level 57 class mods in my bank. All right, now we have the Revolter on, which is gonna give us 200% shock damage. Okay, and there we go. So, wait, our Digiclone's not summoned. So there we go, that's some good damage now. And, you know, the fact that we don't have a damaging anointment, good thing it doesn't necessarily matter because they added broken shields into the game, like the Revolter. What's awesome is our running gun skill, so I can actually slide sometimes to get some bonuses of damage. But yeah, there you go. So there's the Zane build I use, and there's some me showing off some of the new cartel, or not, the returning cartel gear, and then showing off some of the new anointments, like this anointment is insane, 125% crit damage. Come on. And 30% magazine regen is absolutely ridiculous. By the way, the splash damage anointment is still freaking amazing. And then you can get next 2 mags on stuff like the OPQ system. With that being said though, that's gonna be it for this video. So I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm out.